There's so much happening right now in Canadian politics, and every time something like what I'm about to show you today in this video happens, I just think to myself, I can't believe you've done this. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I want to encourage you all to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. We're on route to 400,000 subscribers, and if you consider turning post notifications on, you might actually be notified of upcoming videos. I know YouTube likes to unsubscribe people and they don't send out the proper notifications, so it's just another way of adding a layer of insurance to make sure that you actually get notified of videos. And as well as before we begin, I do have a bit of an announcement. I have an additional channel called Jasper's Thoughts. And once this channel reaches 5,000 subscribers, I already have some guests lined up, some high profile people. I will be doing live streams on there. A lot of people want to see more live streams. I don't do it on Mr. Sunshine Baby, but I will be doing it on Jasper's Thoughts. So the link for that is down in the description or the pinned comment below. Now, we're going to be taking a look at quite a few different things. And the topic of this one is Jagmeet Singh. There's quite a few things to cover here. There's Jagmeet Singh, what he said in the past, his coalition, how it could be coming to an end, how he thinks he's literally going to be Canada's next prime minister, as well as on CTV, mainstream media, they blasted me. That's right. I'm not like directly mentioned. It's indirect, but it's absolutely insane that they're mentioning these types of things on mainstream media. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel personally attacked, but also kind of blessed, I suppose. Anyways, we're going to get all into all this stuff here without or throughout the contents of this video. So first up, we have Jagmeet Singh on X saying grocery store bills are up, food bank usage is soaring, grocery workers can't afford what they sell. None of this is by mistake. Liberals and conservatives repeatedly choose CEOs and their profits over you and your family, and trust me, they will never change. And that's the approach that Jagmeet Singh is really trying to double down. He's backstabbing the Liberals, even though he has this still ongoing coalition with them. In addition to backstabbing the Liberals, he's poking at the Conservatives. Now, Jagmeet Singh is a rat. He goes with the path of least resistance, and he actually thinks, and you're going to see later in this video, he actually genuinely thinks that he will be Canada's next prime minister. It's insane. But first, let's go back to this House of Commons clip here where Jagmeet Singh literally says, when I'm prime minister. So this has been ongoing for quite some time. As you can tell, Marco Mendicino is in the back. He hasn't been in the House of Commons for quite some time now, but let's take a look at this clip.
Honourable member for Burnaby South.
When I'm prime minister, I will keep my promises.
And there goes the entire Conservative bench laughing at him. Look at his face. Look at that sour face. Oh, mister, I did not see that coming, as Mr. Speaker. It's such an outrageous thing for Jagmeet to say that the entire Conservative bench just went berserk.
Okay, I know everybody is excited and Christmas is coming, and it's what, a week and a half, 2 weeks away? My Advent calendar says 2 days, but I think there's something went wrong there. But wait a minute, just calm down. Everybody take a deep breath. The honourable member for Burnaby South, from the top, please.
Absolutely.
Say it again.
For the folks over here, when I'm prime minister...
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. He is so delusional. The only people that vote NDP and support Jagmeet Singh are those that have lost faith in the Liberal Party and are still quite liberal, or other words, delusional. That's the only supporters that Jagmeet Singh and the NDP party have. And you can take a look at this here. Remember this one, Jagmeet? You have 25 seats. You will never be prime minister. A firm no to me, says Jagmeet Singh as he slams the door on the idea of a Liberal NDP coalition. This is dated back to 2021. And obviously, he has retracted this, or not even directly retracted it, but he has gone against what he stands for, which isn't very difficult for Jagmeet Singh to do because he's well, he's a little rat that he's since done a coalition. And now we're going to take a look at a clip of the mainstream media seemingly attacking me and other content creators here on YouTube.
Tories say they won't support the bill.
I point out the irony that someone who spent the first half of his adult life as a practicing racist, who dressed up in hideous racist costumes so many times he says he can't remember them all, should then be the arbiter on what constitutes hate.
Mr. Poilievre hasn't even seen the legislation we're about to put forward next week. He's already telling people exactly what it is and what it isn't.
Our Sunday strategy session is here to dig into all of that. Corey, tonight.
Any parent who's got a kid with a phone knows that this is a real issue. You know, mental health advocates, educators, parents, we know this is an issue. It really is. You know, kids are getting trolled. There are untold stories of kids being, you know, harmed online, and the effect of it is felt by.
Not only are kids being harmed online, allegedly, but with the liberal policies and the whole gender affirming care, kids are being harmed everywhere. And that's due to the liberals and the NDP. And the conservatives have actively, recently stood up against that. You've seen this in Alberta with Danielle Smith, who's banned gender affirming care and puberty blockers for minors. And then you just recently after that saw Pierre Poilievre, the federal member of parliament, the representative of the Conservative Party of Canada, who stood up against that as well. So it's almost a fight of David versus Goliath, of good versus evil. And all the Canadians that are going to be voting in the upcoming election, you have to choose. Are you like for good, or are you for evil? Because it's just sadistic, this whole push towards doing these things to kids, and it's so weird. You have laws that protect kids, man. You have laws that protect them with tobacco, alcohol, gambling, driving, all of these things, but puberty blockers and all that stuff, it's just sick and twisted. Let's take a look here at mainstream media attacking me.
Families right across the country. So I hope that the legislation is improved. I hope that it would be narrowed, and I hope that the focus will mean that it will pass and will actually have a positive impact, because people that traffic in this stuff should be held to account in the most severe way possible. And that's why, you know, politically, I know that the Conservatives think right now they can just hurl any insult they want at Trudeau, that he's low in the polls and low in popularity and they're bulletproof. But I really question whether they are on the right side of this. Their message is 100% clear. It isn't that they are for free speech. It's that they are for consequence-free speech. Rather than these kids that we're talking about, Poilievre is telling people he'd rather protect 3 degenerate dorks in their basement who want to make 10 grand a month by YouTubing garbage, misinformation, and lies.
There you go. Dorks in their basement. How did you know I was in my basement? I'm actually in my basement. So that's absolutely hilarious. And I mean, is that slander? Is that defamation? He didn't name any names, but it's pretty funny. So I'd like to know down in the comments, as a consumer of content, who do you think that these 3 people are? I think I might be one of them. I have no idea. But it's a little funny that now this is being picked up by mainstream media, because mainstream media has lost all credibility and all traction. They are so radical, so delusional now that you have them turning against, well, they've turned against Trudeau recently, but now they're turning against content creators that are pulling more views. It's not my fault that more people, you guys, want to watch this instead of CTV, CBC, and CP24 or whatever it is. I'm sorry, mainstream media, but at the same time, you kind of did it to yourself. And if this is a gentle reminder, if you haven't yet, maybe drop a like on the video so we can keep surpassing them in views and see what else they can try to fling at the wall. Next up, we have Jagmeet Singh admitting to being the cause of a lot of problems Canada is facing. We are the ones making this government do things they would not otherwise have done. Oh, yeah.
Since Parliament resumed this year, you've called the Prime Minister, quote, bad, really bad. You've said, quote, he fails to uphold reproductive rights, that he, quote, stood by and did nothing about auto thefts, that he and his government, quote, bankroll corporate greed, that he, quote, sided with rich developers, that he, quote, favors the ultra-rich, and finally, quote, under his leadership, things got worse for people. You remain the key ingredient to keeping him in that position. What do you say to Canadians who want the chance to address exactly what you spell out, but you and your party are preventing them from doing so?
Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done. Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done.
One more time.
Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done.
There you go. He admits to being the cause of the problems. We are making the government do things that they wouldn't have otherwise done. It's very sad that he's kept this coalition going the way that he has. And unfortunately, he is still 1 year away, almost to the day, from his golden pension. So it's unlikely that you're going to see an election until he's reached that mark of getting his pension. And by that time, the already scheduled fall 2025 election will be right around the corner. And so for that reason and that reason alone, I really doubt that Jagmeet Singh is going to do anything with the election. But it's just only working against them. I mean, look at the polls here. You have projected seats for the Conservative Party of Canada sitting at 210. Just the other day when we checked, they were at 208, and before that, they were, sub 200. They only need 170 seats for a majority. That's not to be elected as prime minister. That's the highest end, a majority government, so the Conservatives could pretty much do whatever they wanted within government. And Liberals and the NDP just sit on the sidelines and they cry and they whine as opposition parties, and that's absolutely fine. And then we scroll down to the odds of winning. You're still at 99% likely that the Conservatives are going to win, and 99% likely of them winning a majority government. So it's really looking bad in the polls all around for everybody except the Conservative Party of Canada. And it's probably going to maintain that course for the next year and a half until we're at the election. The Liberals don't understand. And the NDP, they seem to be so delusional. They just don't get it. They don't understand that the Canadian public, right? You and me, the voters, and people around the world are fed up with these policies. And for that reason, I mean, they're going to keep digging themselves a deeper hole. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think that Jagmeet Singh has any chance in hell of winning? Because according to the polls right here, odds of winning the most seats, Liberals are at 1%. The NDP are also at just under 1%. So if you're a betting person, I mean, I guess Vegas odds, best payout would be Liberals and NDP, but it just doesn't seem the likelihood of that, doesn't seem likely of that happening. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. And finally, we're going to wrap up this video with a new breaking story, I suppose, where the NDP and the Liberals have finally reached a deal on the pharmacare program. Now, this is something that Jagmeet Singh has threatened against Justin Trudeau. He's literally said, if Justin Trudeau does not sign these papers and do what I want, then we're going to cut off the coalition. And that kind of ties into the clip I played earlier of Jagmeet Singh saying we do things that the government wouldn't otherwise do. So let's take a look at this clip here.
With breaking news out of Ottawa tonight. After months of negotiations, the NDP and minority Liberal government say they have reached a deal to start a new national pharmacare program. The final details will be ironed out over the coming days, but sources tell Global News the deal includes a framework for a single payer system, along with full coverage for birth control and diabetes medications. And David Baxter joins us now from our Ottawa Bureau with more on this reported deal. So, David, what can you tell us about how we got here?
Well, Neethu, a senior source at the NDP says that they have a deal with the Liberals to introduce a framework for single-payer pharmacare, similar to how healthcare works across the country. The government now also saying that, yes, they do have a deal, and there'll be more to say on this issue next week. This is a central part of the supply and confidence agreement that sees the NDP support the government on all confidence votes in exchange for passing key priorities. The deadline to keep that deal was initially the end of 2023, but it was pushed back to the end of February to get this legislation introduced.
So what can Canadians expect will be covered here, David?
Now, in exchange for the extension, the NDP said they were going to push for immediate coverage on diabetes medication and contraception. Both those drug types, according to the NDP, will be in this deal. The NDP says the contraception coverage will be similar to what exists provincially in BC. This includes birth control, IUDs, and emergency contraceptives. For diabetes, insulin for type 1 and type 2 diabetes will be covered in the deal. Brand name medications like Ozempic won't be in the deal, but some generic medications may be covered where available. For devices like insulin pumps, the NDP says this deal includes a plan to work with the provinces to help cover the costs of these devices. Now, all of this requires new legislation, so once the bill is tabled sometime next week, it will have to go through the standard parliamentary process before any of this can take effect. Neetu?
All right, David Baxter in Ottawa tonight. Thanks for that, David.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. This is just, it's so bizarre that Jagmeet is not having massive amount of public outrage. It's so clear to everybody that he's not cutting off the coalition because he's after his golden pension. There's tangible evidence to prove that, yet NDP voters still support Jagmeet Singh. And I've never met an NDP supporter. I've never come across one, just probably trolls online, but I've never met a real person in real life that has openly supported the NDP. So I don't know where they're getting their votes, but it's certainly not from common sense people. But again, I'd love to know what you guys think down below of the comments of Jagmeet threatening Trudeau to get what he wants, or to cut off or else he's going to cut off the coalition. How about Jagmeet? You just do it. Grow some balls, do it. See what happens. I'd love to know. Anyways, that's where we're going to end today's video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. As well as I hope you consider heading over to Jasper's Thoughts and subscribing to that YouTube channel. Because like I said, at 5,000 subscribers, I will start live streaming weekly at the very least on that channel with some special guests. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.